Welcome back to Savage 911 for a very quick video. This 3-litre turbo engine, which is in the blue car, uh, is interesting because it doesn't have an intercooler. It was one of the first production turbo cars, and it wasn't until 1978, that they actually put an intercooler on top of this. So for the 3-litre turbo, what it had was just the pipe just went straight into the top here. Now, the intake. So it's an unusual piece, this one, because what happened was as soon as the intercooler came out, people with the 3-litre turbo thought, well, I'll get some extra horsepower correctly by putting an intercooler on top of here. And so what I'll do is I'll cut off the air intake pipe and I will mount an intercooler in here and then feed it straight in. So a lot of these turbo intake pipes got cut to pieces, including the one that was on my green car. So when I saw this car, I pulled the uh, turbo intake pipe off it. I had to replace the silicon boot and stuff anyway, and had a good look at it. And it turns out it's quite interesting. There's a few, you can see there's like a flange here. This is 80 to a 70 reduction. And then it's got a mandrel bend here. And then it's welded with an old school rough weld. And then this piece is another reducer from memory about 70 to a 50 mil, eccentric one-piece reducer. And then this bottom 50 mil flange is again welded on, but it's welded on at a bit of an angle. So to reproduce this piece, I went around a few different, exhaust fabricators and these type of people, and no one wanted to touch it. There's a die for this, a die for that. All of it's lost in time. You go on eBay, and there was a guy in the US selling one of these for, I think it was like $1,500 US. So it's crazy amount of money for what's like a fairly simple part. I mean, it looks simple, but obviously there's a lot going on here. So I thought, well, how am I going to make this? If no one wants to fabricate me one, how else can I do it? And I thought, well, what about 3D printing? So I took this to a 3D printer and they scanned it. They put some markers on it. They scanned it. It all actually dissolves. The marker paint actually dissolves away, and you'd never know it was there. And then I 3D printed it just in plastic for now. And this is what you get. So this is a 3D printed version. You can see they've cleaned it up, so even the weld lines are actually smooth now. So it's smoother than the original. Even has the attachment piece on top, and the flange. Everything is exactly as per the original. So the big test is, does it fit? And you want to check that your 3D print fits before you print it in metal, right? Which you can do. You can print it in aluminium, which is actually the easiest and the cheapest. Obviously, they didn't do a lot of aluminium back when this car was built. Or you can do a steel as well, but certainly aluminium would be the best. So it literally, down the bottom, it's actually fairly forgiving. Although this looks a bit tricky, it goes into a silicon boot, so the angle is not super critical. But up the top, there are actually meant to be 2 rubber rings. This one only has 1, but there are meant to be 2 rubber rings up the top here. And let me try and see if I can get it to fit. So it kind of squashes down into the boot, and then is that angle slightly different? Maybe a little bit steeper? Hard to say. I mean, they look pretty close to me. Really close. So yeah, I reckon it's pretty close. I reckon keep printing one of these, tweak it a little bit, get it to fit, and then I can print it in metal. And, that's a $1,500 part. I could print them and bring these old cars back to life, which is which I find pretty exciting actually. So yeah, wanted to show you that quickly. And I'm excited to have a brand new part ready to print. So thanks very much for watching. Bye.